Welcome to Wilson's channel.
Welcome back, everybody, to another podcast episode. This is Chat with Wilson. I am your host, Wilson, and today we have a very, very special guest, a close friend of mine, someone who's been on one of my podcasts before previously, but this is, you could call it a returning episode as we've rebranded. This is Steve, aka Krushee on Twitch. Welcome, Steve. What's going on, buddy?
Hello, Wilson Chang. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna hopefully not cry, but we're gonna have some fun.
I don't expect us to cry, but you know, anything could happen on these podcasts.
Anything can happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so this is episode 4, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a live audience and everything, so we're gonna be talking to the viewers from time to time. This will also be on YouTube, so if you guys missed this, no worries. We'll have this in the Twitch VOD and on YouTube in maybe a few days. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics, but we do have 2 main commands. We have exclamation podcasts. In short, I like to host these podcasts just to talk about life and just to invite some of my friends on to get their perspectives on various topics that's relevant to us. And then we have exclamation guest. Steve is a streamer, as I mentioned, so you guys could check out his streams. Exclamation guest, which leads to twitch.tv/Krushee. Steve, your camera has disappeared.
What the?
Steve, come back, please. Okay.
I'm here. Hello.
You're good. You're good. Hi, Wall. Hi, Amber. Hi, everybody. Thank you again for checking in. Alerts will be offline during the duration of the podcast. Just a heads up. So yeah, we're going to be chatting it up. Lots of things to talk about. I'll guide the way and we'll just go back and forth, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Lead me.
All right, here. Let me start with like a little icebreaker. Even though we don't need to break the ice. We talk all the time, right?
Yeah.
So why did you submit the picture with the red flag? Well, what's that about?
What's
the promo picture for the podcast, guys? It's him dressed as a red flag. What does it mean?
I just want to be, Valentine's Day is coming around the corner, so I love to have the picture of everyone's rave base, or future rave base as a little homage to them, let's just say.
So you want to be everyone's red flag for Valentine's Day?
No, being everyone. I don't want to be. I'm just being everybody's, you know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay. I mean, that was a Halloween costume that you had, which was a really good one, I must say. I've never seen a red flag. Like,
thank you. I appreciate
it was
that.
very red.
It was custom made. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah, you put in the time and effort for that one.
I actually did put in the time and effort. Even though it was simple, I put a lot of effort into it.
Michelle says favorite red flag grandpa too, so.
Let me think about that. Let me get back to you at that one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Well, you did mention Valentine's Day. That's like we could talk about that later. I'm kind of curious to know what your plans are for Valentine's Day.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's give us a brief introduction of who you are and what you're like. Well, let's do that.
Hi guys, my name is Steve. You could call me Krushee or Steve. I like walking on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. I like playing games. I do stream from time to time. I like talking a lot. I guess that was a hobby of mine. My hobbies are streaming, playing pool, rock climbing. I'm a big outdoorsy / extrovert, even though I'm not into like the huge rave scene as compared to Wilson or everyone else that are mutual friends. I will go to raves from time to time because I like being out. I like good vibes. I like energy. I like people. I'm a big people person.
Facts. Absolute facts. And we'll talk a lot about those. I'm aware that you also have your own podcast. I don't know what the status of that is, but can you talk about how you got into it and where it's at right now?
Yeah, it's called Social Cues for Dummies. I kind of because I got the idea because I think growing up, I had very little to no social cues, almost like negative social cues, and learning how to talk to people myself because I've developed my communication skills all along myself. I self-taught that, so that's what I was proud for. and learning sales. And I'm a really like my career is very sales based. So learning that and learning how to like communicate with friends or make friends, also learning how to like sell or building rapport, um, selling yourself, all are really big things of social cues. So that's why I kind of want to mix a little bit match of professional and personal. I thought that was just a huge thing to me growing up, and that's like a really big of who I am today.
Interesting. I didn't really know the specific details behind it, so it's cool
Yeah.
to actually hear you talk about it. Because whenever we talk, we have like a very troll dynamic,
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's kind of weird to see you be serious for like
I
a minute
think
straight.
I think I'm gonna try to be a little bit more on the serious side, especially on one-on-one conversations.
Yeah.
I like being a little bit more serious. I do troll a lot, but um, this conversation specifically, I'm gonna try to cool it down, be a little bit more serious. But yeah, the status of it's
Mhm.
pretty much like I haven't been honestly trying it. I'm still like thinking if I want to kill it completely, but I do have a lot of fun. It's just a lot of commitment.
Yeah. And as someone who has their own podcast and stuff, like you see that I'm trying to like jumpstart it again, right? Like
Yeah.
dabble into this scene and everything. I know you've seen a little bit, but do you have like any advice you could give me since you've been doing it for a while?
Um, I think I don't know. I kind of like your method to it. I think the method is just like keeping it consistent because that's what I didn't do.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's something like really cool because I wasn't, even though I did it for a long time, I was doing it really inconsistently, and I like really unexpectedly like had people that listened to it that I never fucking expected. I went to a high school reunion recently, and then like a couple of people were asking like, "Where has the podcast been?" And like, been people having people reach out to me that like old friends. So I guess just keep it consistent and keep it you, like keep it your craft. I think that's like the most important thing for sure. I think you're doing a great job for it. And I like how you got like I personally wouldn't like because sometimes I did stream it, but I personally wouldn't have chat involved. I don't know why. I like how you like respond to your chat while doing the podcast. I think that's kind of cool aspect of it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what's up, everybody? Thanks for dropping by. No, that's a great point. First of all, I want to say thank you for like saying those nice things about the podcast. The second thing is this kind of goes back to why I rebranded this and changed up the style. I feel like it was a little too strict and one-on-one focused, like too much for me, where I feel like I'm not allowed to like be myself. Like I felt
Mm,
extremely like professional doing like the old podcasts and stuff where
yeah.
I feel bad for not acknowledging the chat, and I want the engagement to be there, cuz it's like a lot of our friends are here, and I also want to note that it's super cool that your friends like the fact that you went to the reunion, they knew about your podcast. I feel like
Yeah, like people I
the
didn't even fucking talk to anymore, which is like I don't can I cuss? Sorry, I
yeah,
have to
yeah, you
laugh.
can, you can. Yeah,
Okay.
be yourself, bro. Be yourself.
Okay. But yeah, people I just like didn't talk to, didn't communicate, didn't message at all.
Uh,
People were like, where's your podcast? I listened to all of them, man. They're so influential, they're so great. Like I didn't expect it at all. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, cuz where did you post yours? Like all those podcast episodes.
So I wanted to kind of like AKA rebrand just like you did. I did 2
Mhm.
episodes, but I initially only did Spotify. And then I wanted to try a video podcast. I did 2 of them. So created a YouTube channel of it. It was fun. YouTube channels are fun. I think they're going to be a little bit like if I ever do it again, I like the YouTube aspect of it because I like them seeing me, and um, because I'm a big like hand gesture slash body language guy. So like if I'm trying to deliver a message, I want them to see how I look like when I'm delivering that message.
Yeah, like you could see the emotions too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the kind of like the opposite end. I'm curious to know what it's like to have it on Spotify. So maybe I'll look into that. Do you feel like there's separate pros and cons? Is it easy for you to like add it on Spotify?
Yeah, I think when it comes to Spotify, I think like you could just dump that shit in there. For me, it's always one take. I know you do like one takes too, which is cool because you do it live.
Hmm.
So I like that the audio aspect because you could just like pretty much it's easier to well, actually it is one take, but it isn't because you could edit some stuff out. Like I will like talk, breathe, and then record again and talk again. I think that's really cool.
Mhm.
Like YouTube, like it's little bit less. You could fuck up less essentially because it's one take. You actually have to do one take compared to audio. I think the audio thing is like you could take breaks, but I realized that like when it came to audio,
Hmm.
I was less animated, even talking, like sounding it. So I think video is cooler, but it's less room for error for sure.
Okay, that's actually good to know.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that. What's up, everybody? We got Steve here, aka Krushee, as our special guest for today. Okay, let's talk a bit about like Twitch and social media. We've talked about it before, but let's
Yeah.
like get an update on like so many things. I know one major topic we'll get into is friendships. We talked about this behind the scenes, how we wanted to elaborate on that and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Twitch and social media, as of today, what's your current state of mind when it comes to like just streaming and just being on social media? How active are you, and what have you been up to?
Dude, I wish I was a lot more active on Twitch. Like saying what's up to homie streams. The last couple months, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been as active as Twitch as I want to be. Not
too.
just live,
Mhm.
but just like in general, I would say. Kind of took uh like some mental hits, recently. So definitely like Twitch is very leisure. Like it's very leisure friendly. And sometimes when I'm on Twitch too much, like it feels like I'm being really unproductive sometimes. So I do want to get more on Twitch. When I kind of get like my space back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. You have like it sounds like you just have priorities and a lot has been happening
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's real. I feel like I'm in a similar boat, although I don't have anything impacting me like you do. I just it's been hard to get into the groove of things. Like I do
Right.
stream here and there, but just like interacting with people on their streams, it's been very difficult and sometimes I definitely feel unproductive. That's like a really good word to use. That's like
Yeah, and
to explain
I
it.
think like honestly, like I could say like life has hit me or some shit, but like everyone's going through it through ish. Everyone's going through it. So it's not just like life problems. It's definitely like you said, like drive or wanting the consistency. It's a little bit of everything, I would say. Um
Mhm.
and it's easy getting discouraged when you take a break, stream again, guess less viewership, and or just like the smallest things, the smidgen of things discourage you. Getting tilted on Valorant, I hate when I get tilted on Valorant stream. I know like it's like ridiculous, but like I've had a couple friends say like you don't look good tilted. Like no shit, I don't look good. I don't want to look good, bro. I want to fucking win. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to always look good to fucking play this game. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so considering that, right? When you feel like you're like what are your future thoughts for now when it comes to streaming then? Like you talked about how difficult it is to like potentially get back into it and how it's
Yeah.
been the last few months, but like what's the overall goal then?
Definitely get back into streaming. I actually did a recent tweet. I guess Twitter is the most like active I've been on social media because I like Twitter because it's like a little bit of like catching up with my friends, a little bit of tea, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I
The
mean?
tea,
Like
okay.
the Valor community is so funny sometimes. Anyways, um, I think like I posted a recent tweet that I kind of want to see if I were to commit more on Twitch, if I could have changed just my perspective on it, not my commitment, but my perspective on it, rather than a hobby, I could change it as like a side gig or a side job, just like a financial type of decision. Like, I wonder how I could approach it like that. If that makes sense.
Like even the categories you'll be streaming, or
I mean, just in general.
mindset?
I'm still gonna do Valorant mostly. Like
I see.
that's gonna be like undisputed. Maybe a little bit Power World, that's the hype. A little just chatting, but like taking it more serious, I would say for sure. I think that's what I would have wanted to do. Because I'm like, I kind of want to get paid by Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be
Oh
nice,
yeah.
little boba money there, here and there, a little leisure money, a little dinner money. You know what I mean? So that's how I thought about it. Just because like expenses in general are going up, so that's kind of why I tweeted what I tweeted.
Yeah, definitely saw that tweet. And again, pretty relatable on certain aspects. One thing I want to ask about, since you briefly mentioned it and we've talked about this beforehand, is like maybe more so like the mental aspects of it, why it's hard for you to like get back into it. Like, do you really focus on those metrics and stuff? Has that been affecting you recently?
I think it did. I think the biggest thing that affects me is getting tilted. Like, I've been better taking breaks off just playing games in general, but I'm an extremely competitive person, and sometimes I get carried away just a little bit. I do a little shit talking sometimes. So like, I don't want to. Not only I don't want to see like viewers see my tilted side, but I also don't want to be like look hella toxic compared to like actually good streamers. So it's a little bit of everything. I think I'm a little bit self-conscious of that for sure. Viewers, on the other hand, I know if I am hype and like be myself, I know that it will come in time. But I think that's the most thing I'm like kind of worried about.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Gonna segue just a little bit here because I feel like we talked about social media. You said that Twitter is what you're mostly active on, right?
Yeah.
For you, like,
and TikTok.
Yeah. How would you compare, like, I guess the friends you have on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or just like the vibe you get from each of these different platforms? Because I'll explain my POV, but I want to hear yours.
I think Twitter is like very trolly. I think that's why I like it. It's very lighthearted. Even the drama seems like not that deep, bro. Even though people take it seriously, I think it's kind of funny. TikTok is also like kind of just like mind consuming or time consuming too. Instagram, that's when you like could catch up with your friends that you haven't talked to in a while, see what they're doing. So like usually on Instagram for me personally, I do like gym stuff or like going out, not really events like raves. I don't really do that in my Instagram story or clubs or anything like that. But like actual trips, in my opinion, like for example, Universal Studios or me traveling or stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I would say like it's kind of weird to put it this way, but Instagram has become more personal, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
for me, it's become more personal by far compared to like TikTok and like Twitter, right? I feel like it's becoming more of like Facebook for me nowadays because I don't use Facebook like that anymore.
You're right.
But Facebook is like you see your family members or your old friends from like middle school, high school, and stuff. But now Instagram is like it's more present, right? More modern day. But then Twitter is you just see a lot of like strangers' tweets and stuff, right? And I wouldn't say there's like much interactions like whatsoever. You just kind of like you stay up to date through Twitter.
Yeah.
That's how it is for me.
That's true.
A difference with like the following and friends there is Twitter is mostly Twitch streaming friends for me. Like small percentage is like IRL friends or those that I've met like in person rather than online.
Yeah.
That's the same for you?
Yeah. Like for sure, like my online life is definitely on Twitter. That's why you'll see me do a lot more like like DJ shit posts type of tweets. Yeah, I wouldn't really necessarily put that on Instagram. So I agree with you. I think definitely Twitter definitely has more of my online presence for sure. You're gonna see more of like shit from Krushee, and like Instagram, you're gonna see shit more of like Steve. If that makes any
Ooh.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for me, it's Wilson Chang for both.
Yeah, fucking weirdo.
Okay.
All
I'm just
right,
kidding. I'm just
take
kidding.
something.
Ew. My bad. Rubbing off on you. Welcome in, guys. Hello, everybody. Mochi, Drew, Saber, everyone. Continuing the podcast, talking about social media right here. Just wrapping that up. TikTok is definitely a different avenue for me too. It's just to see like, it's just the short attention span version of me being invested and wasting lots of time. Although there's so many cool videos and stuff out there, and I've been juggling with it. I'm sure you have too, because like you've been making like some interesting TikTok posts in the past, like funny ones, like comedic.
Interesting is interesting term that you would just detail it, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Like, because I don't know like what niche it is other than like comedy or just like to make fun of yourself type of thing, right?
Yeah, true. True.
So that, and then just wrapping things up. It's like when I meet people IRL, because you said that Twitter is more of like the online friends.
Yeah.
How often like would you go out and be like, "Yo, want to exchange Twitter profile accounts?" yeah. No, but for me, it's just
never.
Like, "Yo, do you have IG?
Never in my
like,
life.
Let's exchange IG."
No,
Yeah, you don't say like TikTok or
Fuck
Twitter.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Even like, yeah.
The only exception is like if you go to TwitchCon and you trade like Twitch profiles or something.
Or show a badge to someone, you know what I mean?
We could, we're gonna talk about that.
Are we actually?
we are.
Okay.
And then like very like small percent Snapchat, because I know a lot of the people don't really use Snapchat and it's very different, and there's like a whole like aspect or a view on Snapchat. I don't need to get into that, but yeah, I'm just saying that's a little bit. But anyways, I'm glad that you agree on certain things. We'll talk about the TwitchCon experience just to wrap up like TwitchCon and social media.
Okay, gotcha. I'm down.
In the last episode, I asked Pal. She was our previous special guest for episode 3. What her take and thoughts were for TwitchCon, because TwitchCon is like EDC for ravers. I know not everyone raves, but I like to compare that. It's like the huge event where all streamers from around the world can come together to either meet up, link up, or just to see like other streamers or just whatever they display, businesses, right? There's many opportunities that you could get from TwitchCon.
Really big networking opportunities.
Networking experience. A lot of friends come through and plan things around it, whether it's at the convention or outside. So this past year in 2023, we all met up and went to TwitchCon together. It was our second time doing that. How was your experience overall?
Dude, I thought I had a lot of fun. Actually, I personally like my experience in Vegas more than I like in San Diego, which is a year prior. Like overall experience, I think I had a lot of fun. Because I like the convention better. I like that you could do stuff after more. The only thing I hated in Vegas, and I don't care, I think Vegas is the worst area to drive in. I've drove in the city of San Francisco, in LA, and fucking, I think Vegas is terrible. I don't know if it was because there's a lot of construction there going on right now, and there was a lot of events besides TwitchCon there, but it was the worst experience ever, bro. Oh my god, it was garbaggio.
Like even the Uber drivers, it was an experience, gotta be aggressive and everything. But yeah, not about the traffic or anything, but let's talk about the con itself. What did you do? What was the highlight of being at the actual convention before we talk about the degenerate activities that we did?
Being at the actual convention. See, that's a crazy thing, because like I think I said this for San Diego. I'll probably say this for Vegas, but like I don't really remember much in the actual convention relative to what happened after or before it. But I would say Twitch Rivals is really cool, and and going to
merch.
Art Gallery.
Yeah. Art gallery.
Art
That's
Gallery
what
was
it
kind of
is.
tight with it. Actually, we spent a lot more time in Art Gallery this coming or in Vegas rather than San Diego, and it was just so much more like roomier and spacious, and I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. Nad Jory, appreciate y'all. Thank you for the shoutouts, guys. So we went for 3 days. We went to the convention for 3 days. Do you think it was worth going for those 3 days? And how would you compare it to the first year, like the actual convention itself? Like from based on the things we did, more so than what you saw.
I think 1/2 days is cool. I'll probably buy a weekend pass again if I do go, just because it's a better deal. But realistically, I think 1 to 2 days is cool enough. Like going to the whole like I don't know what they call it, the hall, the main like event area and art gallery. I think you could kill that off in 1/2 days. I don't really do the panels. The workshops were kind of cool. You know, the Valorant meetup was actually pretty fun too. But yeah, I it was fun.
Okay, before we get into what we're about to get into,
Yeah.
I want to note that for me personally, when I go to TwitchCon, it's mainly to meet up with friends and to link up.
Yeah.
As of like the last 2 years, I would say I didn't have like a specific goal to like see any streamers in particular, like the
Like a
popular
schedule, right?
ones.
Yeah.
Or like I didn't have a set schedule to see like any panels to learn about like different aspects of streaming or like different companies and stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
So the only thing I was mostly interested in was seeing people and going to like the Valorant like meetup, because there's like community rooms scheduled
Yeah.
for like a specific time on a specific day. So if you're interested in like checking out like a variety of things that goes down on TwitchCon, that's why you would potentially want to go for more than 1 days based on like whatever schedule, right? So there's that. We ended up going to the Valorant community room, and how was that? Like, what went down? How would you describe it, and how was your personal experience being there?
You are so leading this on. Okay, it was honestly it was cool. And the first like, how long were we there? Like 40 minutes, 30 minutes? I'll say 30 minutes.
It was about an hour, but we were there for like maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah. It was
Pretty
cool,
close to the
like
end.
because I saw like streamers, like Valorant streamers. Because like sometimes it's a really small world. Because if you're a Valorant streamer, you're gonna know another Valorant stream that's another mutual friend knows. I feel like so I met a lot of like mutuals there. It was like a really cool opportunity to say what's up. And yeah, I mean, and then we got closer to like it was my first time meeting like Pow, Devin, and Derek. So like I was kind of on a little bit more with them during that time because it was my first time meeting them. So like that's a like I got hella like cool with those guys, like our group, and then it kind of expand on. Do you want me to talk about it or what?
Yeah, just talk about it. I feel like it's not the biggest deal anymore, but it's just
not,
like a funny story.
It's just funny. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's really not. I'm not even that like I wasn't even that sad or mad about it, but I just wanted to point it out because I thought it was super funny. But so what had happened was there was this person. So like on your badge, just a little context, on your badge it has your Twitch tag on it, right? And you either see your like affiliate, partner, or whatever shit. But so we were in the little Valorant Get Up community, and this one girl, we're walking around, and we were like, she was like with her posse, and we like made eye contact with each other. And right when we made eye contact with her, she instantly like flipped her badge over on me, like very dramatically, and like it was like so obviously like trying to hide it from me. And I remember walking away. I was like, okay. Like I remember, like right when that happened, I just immediately was to the group. I was like, y'all don't know what just happened. That made this whole ordeal on Twitter. But I thought it was really funny. And yeah, that's what happened. I was even trying to talk to her, bro. That's the funny thing.
Guys, you have no idea how wild that is. I don't even know how I would feel, like, because we would probably, handle it in different ways. But, like, if I were to make eye contact with someone and someone would flip their shit like that and hide their name, I would feel so offended and be, like, in a state of, like, demise or something.
Honestly, if she's lucky, I didn't talk to her. Like I know we saw her again the next day because I pointed her out. But like, if we communicate somehow, oh my god, she would not feel the end of it. But yeah, that was a little thing, something that happened.
Before we just briefly talk about how you handled the situation afterwards when we left the community room, I want to know, like, from personal experience, and I also want to ask you. Let me ask you first.
Sure.
Like, when we were in the community room, how did you truly feel, like, about everything? How was, like, your personal experience, like, mingling and stuff?
I definitely was like, I mean, like it's natural, but there was this like anxious slash overwhelming feeling because obviously, like there is this street like really well known Valorant streamers that I know of, and then there's also like pretty popular ones. So it was definitely intimidating or like overwhelming, I would say, meeting people. Because I was definitely overwhelmed. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I met some people, but definitely I was definitely nervous talking to other people. So it was out of my comfort zone in a sense where, like I knew of that person, but that person didn't know of me. And they're not really a celebrity, but I just kind of know of them. So I just thought it was kind of awkward, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the Twitch dynamic if they're a like well-known streamer, because they're not like you don't treat them as a celebrity. You just treat like you kind of know of them, but they have no idea who the F you are. And I think that's like the awkward part of it when it comes to Twitch.
Yeah, I share the same sentiment. I just want to point out that it's a community room and there's like no specific rules. What happens is people usually just mingle and you just talk it out about whatever, since everyone's similar interest is valid for that. But for me, when I was in there, I feel like it was definitely very maybe awkward. Considering that like I feel like I'm able to like talk to people, right? Whoever one on one, but just like there was just like a vibe and energy to it. It felt like everyone was in their own like little cliques and stuff. So it just feels like it's easy to just talk to the people you already know, right? Versus like to just put yourself out there to like talk to other groups. Like I would have to be like super charged with my social battery to be able to do that. And I was able to do that a little bit because I was like, you know what? TwitchCon is only once a year and this is only for an hour. I'm not going to have another opportunity to talk to like Valorant streamers, right? So what I did was I, like a dumbass, like to me, I felt like a dumbass, even though it's totally normal. I just walked a full lap around the room. I just
you talked to anyone or you just like walked?
I just walked around and I'm just like looking around. I'm like, oh, I wonder who looks approachable to like talk to and stuff. And I got lucky. I got lucky because I ended up like, or people ended up spotting me that I knew of from Twitch, but I just didn't realize they were there because they're on the other side of the room and stuff. So I made like conversations and everything. I wouldn't say I met new people. Just like you, I saw a lot of like the well-known and popular streamers. But for me personally, I don't really go up to people like that.
Yeah.
I feel way more comfortable just going up to people that I've had like a conversation with or something. Like in my mind, I just didn't feel the need to just like, go up to people like that within the Valorant community.
Yeah, I definitely did more the last year before that. Like when it came to like the Valorant pros, like Shazam, I'm having a blank. Sabrosa, like those people I said what's up to the year before, but like the only person I really like said hi to that's like pretty big name is Ethos, just because we met before like in person, in like an outside streamer events, I would say. So he was kind of like a familiar face, so I just wanted to say hi, say what's up to him. But I didn't really like say or approach myself to these like big name streamers.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's also like the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. Finish your point.
It's also like you're kind of like walking eggshells because you want to like you so like I said, they're not a celebrity, but also they're really well known. So at the same time, you had this like hesitance on trying to communicate them with them because you don't want to seem like you're a clout chaser or you want to be too cool with them or too comfortable with them. So it's like a little, it's a little weird how people could front it. I'm not saying it's weird in general, but like how people do like do it. I think it's sometimes it's a little different.
Yeah, there's like a psychology behind all of this, I swear. Like
Right, exactly.
like you said, because for me, I agree. I feel like when you see these like really popular streamers and stuff, like for me, I just don't want to approach them because like even there's like a small percentage of me that just thinks like, oh, I'm not trying to like gain clout or anything by talking to this person. So I'm not even gonna talk to them. I'm gonna mind my own business and talk to people I actually know. So there's definitely that. And this weird something I noticed is that other people like go for specific reasons to meet these people, right? I'm briefly gonna talk about this. It's not a big deal, but it was weird because I recognized someone and I was about to go up to say hi to them, but then I saw that they were trying to get the attention of one of the big streamers to talk to them. So it was very awkward. Like as soon as I said what's up, like they said what's up to like the streamer and then they started talking and I'm like, I'm gonna see my way out.
Wait, I think I saw that.
Yeah, let's just don't even talk about that anymore. That happened and I'm like, fuck no. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the rest of the story.
That? That's so funny
because you're watching me. You're just watching over, man. You're just trying to make sure I was good because you had like some crazy shit happen, so you were stunned and then you were just like observing. Yeah, so anyways, no, that was pretty awkward. That was pretty awkward for me. I don't mind it though. Let's talk about what you did after when you met the badge flipper. Yeah, let's call her badge flipper or whatever you want.
That's what I call her on Twitter, badge flipper.
Yeah, so I'll give people like I'll basically explain what you did, but you could like throw out the details. So Steve, I don't know if you like it to be known, but you can be petty. Yeah, you can be petty.
What? Me?
Yeah, and you embrace that shit, all right? So when that happened to you, when you got flipped, I recall going back to the Airbnb and then you made a video like basically describing the encounter and what had happened, right? Because I specifically remember that you used my badge as an example and then you posted it on Twitter and it actually went like decently viral, like at least within the streaming community and stuff, and all of our friends saw it, and I was like, fuck, you used my name and shit.
I didn't really saw it though, like you can't really see the badge name.
Yeah, I guess not, but it was just really funny how you like talked about the whole situation and you were like so heated about it. And then the next day after he posted that video, we were in the cafeteria and we saw the girl. We saw her. Suspect, whatever. Yeah, she was there and it was so crazy. And I did something funny. I decided to just take a picture of Steve with her in the background. Yeah, just for the memories. I deleted it, but like it was just funny at the moment. So like, what did you talk about in the video and what was your thought process out of like throughout the whole thing, especially posting on Twitter?
I don't know, I just wanted to vent, like that was the main thing, and like I thought it was like really funny. So I posted that. I was like really animated looking, I remember. But like I remember actually doing it, I was just so like flustered and like I just wanted to like pour all my like frustration out, you know? So I was like so out there and animated in the video. I keep looking at it. It's really I think it's it's super animated. I usually am a really animated person, but that was really animated how I looked. I wish I like said more, but I just had a brain fart and I just wanted to like spiel my spiel because I was thinking like what to say in my head, but like I didn't say all of it, especially when it comes to like all like the Valorant things. I was like, what did I say? I was like, I hope they defuse the bomb with like 1 second left or half a second left. I hope I miss you fucking smurfs and goes against you and stuff like that. So all like these like Valorant jokes that people would get. So I had more in my head, but yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that was super clever. I give you props for that.
Thank you, sir.
And guys, welcome in. Appreciate y'all for tuning into the podcast. Appreciate y'all for reals. Okay, that was TwitchCon itself, but let's talk about outside of TwitchCon what we did and how your experience was, because there was clubbing, there was TwitchCon party, there was just connecting with friends, and then all of that. Go for it.
Yeah, so me and Wilson went to the after party. The TwitchCon after party. Actually, it was hella fun.
After Friday. That was on first day.
Wait, Thursday night?
Friday.
Wait, was that not Friday?
It was on the first day of TwitchCon.
So what are we talking about?
Yeah, so Friday night.
So we are talking about the Twitch party.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. This was Friday night. Sorry. Okay, so Friday night happened, and there was a couple of our friends that were going to Wilson, please help me.
Loud Luxury.
Loud Luxury. Yes, thank you. They're like, oh my god, you guys should go. And then Wilson's like, damn, I already got this Twitch party. And then yeah, we I ended up getting one too. I'm getting a ticket to. Shout out to Insanity. For hooking me up. But yeah, we went to the party, went with Wilson, and dude, it was a lot. I thought it was really cool. Where did we go? Route 66, Pier 66. What was the venue called?
Oh, like Area 15 or something?
Area 15. Yes, we went to Area 15. That was really fun. Like, it had a lot of like night stuff, and it was like a rave also with like other like bar areas, things we could do. So I felt like bar hopping with a lot of like visuals, because there was like a visual room with like lights and the mirrors and stuff like that. It was tight. It was actually a lot of fun. I wish that like we went to more areas and explored, but it was just so like lines were just huge, and I understand. But dude, it was really, really fun. I actually, that was probably the funnest moment in TwitchCon, or like that trip, honestly.
Yeah, just to briefly speak on that. So TwitchCon party is part of the package deal if you decide to pay like extra money for that when you go to TwitchCon, right? So it happened on Friday this time around, and it was super nice. It was like really dark, neon lights everywhere, different activities you could do. And then there was 2 main stages for like basically a rave, like you said. That was in the second stage, the furthest back one. And then the one before it had like different type of music. I think it was like not as heavy.
Yeah.
But we also each person got 2 drink tickets. So we were able to like pull off the little sticker, whatever thing, plastic thing, and get free drinks. But it's like very limited of what you can get. But basically, it was a great time overall. The only downside is, like he said, a lot of the places at Area 15, it was super busy. Like, there was long lines, so to me, it wasn't worth the wait. The most exciting part was just being on the dance floor and just vibing with everyone that went. So yeah, that was like your pregame, basically, because after that, we went back to the Airbnb, and this
was like what, 12 a.m. Probably.
It
like,
was around 12 a.m.
Yeah, it was like early midnight. I was like, fuck, we're in Vegas, G. Like, honestly, I told Wilson because Wilson was fucking dead, old man dead. Like, I don't want to do anything anymore. I'm tired, G. I was like, fuck, Wilson, we gotta do something. So I was like, actually, thinking about hitting the casinos and losing some money in the casinos. But then Pal hits me up saying that, there's Loud Luxury. I was like, fuck it. So I sent it because I remember
FaceTime,
Merrick sent me like this like weekend pass where you could get, it was like a 2-day pass essentially for like certain clubs and venues, and that venue was like qualified for one of them. So I was like, okay, fuck it, full send. Like, I'll just lose money another time. It's okay. So I went to Loud Luxury, and that was really fun. That menu was really cool. Yeah, I can't really compare. It was kind of sick. It was really fun. So I went to Lab Luxury at like 12:30, and shout out to Derek for sneaking me in the front, baby, because I technically wasn't allowed to be in the front, but it's
Oh,
all
you
good.
sneaked in?
To like the floor area.
Yeah, because they closed it off. How were you able to sneak in? Like they weren't looking, and you just went. Whoop.
No. Derek like finessed me, and he's like, "Hey, he's with me." I was like, "Hey, that's what's up, G. I'm with you."
Oh, that
Yeah,
works. Okay. Hey, but it was super crowded though, right? Because at Omnia, typically, like the floor gets super crowded. I don't know how
it
fun
was.
you like had. Like, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was. No, I did have a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Uh, it was definitely less crowded than the day we went. I know you want to talk about it later, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
that shit was fucking. Oh my god, there was like fucking bodies everywhere. Holy shit! I spent $30 on water twice or some shit like that. Oh my god, it tilted me. But anyways, yeah,
Yeah, okay. Before we get to the second day, I'm glad you had fun by the way. I
yeah, it
just
was a
want
lot of
to
fun.
give like a full picture of what went down on that first night. So for me, like I knew we had to wake up early for TwitchCon day 2 and I didn't want to feel like miserable or anything. Plus, I feel like I'm better off going to events if I at least pre-plan it and know for a fact that I'm gonna go to like Loud Luxury, for example. But in my head, I
Mhm.
was like, TwitchCon party afterwards,
Yeah,
use
yeah.
X amount of energy for that, like calculating this shit, get enough sleep for TwitchCon day 2. But no, when I got back, I was like, I can't do this. I gotta go to sleep, get my rest. And the funny thing is, okay, it's not really funny. It's kind of strange at the same time. He left around 12 and I knocked out. And a crazy situation is that our friends got scammed, like their Airbnb. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so
Oh my
they had to stay
god.
with us. And the thing is, our Airbnb was just a room. So we sneaked everyone in. I swear, like 4 or 5 people joined us, right? And
Dude.
we're supposed to join us after that night at the club. But the crazy thing is, I knew that people were gonna come. I didn't know who specifically or how many people. All I remember is waking up at like 4 in the morning or something because y'all got home and dead ass, some dude was next to me, like just staring at me, laying at me that I've never met before. I opened my eyes and he's like, "Hi." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, in my head, I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then I just see Steve like walking around. I see Hein. Hein was there too. Hein's like sitting on the floor like hella dead.
Oh, dude.
Like this guy yeah. And there was like 3 or 4 of us laying on the bed because I purposely slept sideways knowing that we needed space for people to sleep. But I would think like someone I know would be sleeping next to me, right? On the bed. But then like everyone's there. And yeah, that was just a funny ass moment. He like
Yeah.
opened his eyes or like he was still awake. I think he was trying to sleep, but then he just said hi. Not gonna lie, he was a really cool dude. I just forgot his name because we didn't trade like contact information or anything. Was it? Do you remember his name?
Oh my god, dude! I remember going home from Omnia that night, and fucking there was like people. We had literally people everywhere. We literally had like so in our bathroom. So we had one room, but in our bathroom was like a savior because in our bathroom we had 2 closets. One was like a tiny ass fucking mini widow closet, and the
Yeah,
other one was like a walk-in closet. So we had fucking
big
people
ass.
sleep in the fucking walk-in closet, bro. So
Yeah,
like there's everywhere. You fucking like you couldn't like I was so like self-conscious and I was like kind of like in the I remember in the morning after not after fucking the club
uh-huh.
I took a shower in the morning. I was like, please, G,
Don't open
don't
the
you
door.
open this door.
Don't open the door while you're
Don't you
sleeping in the
fucking
closet.
open the door. You're gonna see fucking Free Willy out here, bro. Fuck. So that's what I was
I felt
hoping
that
for.
too.
But yeah, it was because there's no lock or anything like that. So, but they were
Yeah.
knocked the fuck out, which is
So
thankfully.
so whose friend was he? I remember he was at TwitchCon. So he had a badge. I remember he said he was from like Toronto or something. He was from Canada. And then he hung out with us. Like I especially remember day 3 where he had to leave, but I don't remember who knew him from our group.
I don't
Was
even know
it
who you're talking about.
you don't know who I'm talking about?
No,
Okay, it was me, you, and Merrick, right? Staying at the Airbnb.
it
Hein,
wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Hein was there,
Uh-huh.
and then Matt and Katie were there, right?
You're not talking about Nick? You're just talking about someone else?
Oh, Nick was there. Nick was there too. Yeah, the Asian dude, and then it was Nick, and
Oh,
then the
that's
Asian
Nick's
dude.
friends. That's like I think that's Kawhi and Nick's friends.
Okay, well that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was just a little
Asian
funny story.
dude. That's rare.
Okay, but at least you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
he was cool, like for sure. Like after talking to him and
he was
everything,
cool.
it's just one of those crazy ass moments where I did not expect to wake up next to a stranger who was like just staring at me because he was like laying sideways and he was facing my direction. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about day 2 real quick. TwitchCon, we're not going to talk about TwitchCon anymore because it was fun for the most part, and it was like it was a great experience. I would recommend for you to go if you have like something planned out and if you want to see people. But yeah, talk about Stevie Aoki because that's when I actually went to the club. I got to vibe with you, Team Fingies, and everyone, and it was so much fun.
Dude,
How
it
about for
was
you?
so crowded. I had fun for sure. I think I was definitely like more like that was like the time for me where like there was a lot of groups and like it was fun, don't get me wrong, but it was definitely not as enjoyable as I expected to be. I didn't want to be like a party pooper, but just because like we didn't really like we weren't all together, that's like what kind of turned me off from like wanting to stay because I left a little early. Also, I was tired, and we couldn't really see. We saw that because there was 2 stages, right?
Yeah.
So the second stage played really good. It was like my actual type of music, R&B, hip hop type of music. So it was cool. I just didn't like. It wasn't anyone's fault, but like the fact that like not all the homies were next to each other, everyone was like dispersed, kind of like made me want to like. I was like, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah. Okay. That's honest. And for me, I do want to note that like when we first got in, it was chill, right? We had like a solid group in the front. It got a little too crazy. And then I was expecting to like try to meet up with other friends, like Krushee, Missy Boba, and then MSG was there, Yami and other like homies, right? They had a table and everything. So that was super cool to just be invited at their table just to like meet all of them because I love meeting people and stuff. But I know you didn't, along with like a lot of people in the group, right? So we kind of like
want to like leech off anyone.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, so we were basically in different groups, and then time went by. It got way too crowded. We attempted to go to the floor, but for the most part, it was just cool for me to like mingle with them. And then after that, because I know everyone started leaving, especially from like the original group, like the one that you're with too, like Red and them, right? So I feel like it was like up and down for me because it was just too hectic, and for the most part, it was fun talking to people. But then the night was like it ended really, really well for me because I ended up bumping into Socratic in chat, Mav and Trish and 2 other homies for her birthday too. That was so crazy. And then this is the first time I ever felt like I've enjoyed vibing at a club behind the DJ, so like within the back, because you know how it's in the middle and it's like a circle around. We were by the bar and we were having the time of our lives. That was so crazy fun, just to be able to just for her birthday too. And then Mav was going crazy with the drinks.
And I remember meeting Trish too. She was a vibe for sure. The group was really fun. I just didn't talk to them as much because I didn't know them as much, but no, it was for sure. Everyone was really cool. Don't get me wrong, actually.
Yeah, so that's how the night went for the most part. But yeah, just moving forward, since we do have a lot of things to talk about, let me ask you this, like a little segue. So we talked about Twitch and we talked about the TwitchCon experience, right?
Okay.
How do you think, like, what do you think your public image is like compared to just being online versus in person? Like maybe do you feel like you're yourself or maybe a little different? What do you have to say? And then I'll talk on that.
I think I'm like very authentic when it comes to like having my online image as my real image. I think because you see like the not just like the funny side of me, not like the pretty side of me, the good side of me. You also see, like I said, you see the ugly side of me too. I think it's I think I'm pretty authentic. What if we're like just comparing like how you are in real life? But I definitely, when it comes to in person rather than like in stream, because on stream I'm like a huge meme and I like do a lot of loud shit, which I do in person too. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely more like now like very personable, very um I like to say intimate,
Mhm.
not in like a romantic way by any means, but when I'm like trying to connect with a person, I'm a very intimate person. Like it's not like I'm not talking romantically at all. I'm just saying like a 1v1 like close scenario. I get really close with people
Yeah,
really
very
quickly.
personable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I think I like the biggest perk is I get people really comfortable with me really quickly,
True.
and that's the side of Twitch that you obviously can't show. But other than that, like your humor, your personality, most that's all like authentic. Like I'll do the same shit. I'll say the same shit in person. Um,
Mm.
all the petty shit, all the competitive shit, like all that's that's gonna be in the same thing.
Yeah, so with that being said of like who you are versus like what you allow people to see on stream,
Yeah,
do you feel like there's any other misconceptions about like who you are?
like compared to stream,
Yeah,
like
I could be specific. It's because it goes back to your tweet where and the conversation before where you said you wanted to be like when you get back into streaming, maybe more professional or something, right? You want to
yeah.
remember that post you had where you were just like, "Oh, just kidding," like because people saw how you were in the Valorant game,
Oh yeah,
trolling
the
the
clip,
dude.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So to me, I feel like people, you're right. People kind of like clown on you and they could laugh because of your vibe, your like crazy ass energy, right?
right.
But I'm wondering if you want that to like change in the future or like what do you truly feel about it? Because maybe like the downside is people won't take you as seriously or something. But who knows? It really depends on how they how deep your connection is and friendship is.
That's a great question. I think I would say that I can't lose me, as in like my humor is going to be the same. So it's a lot of like comfy humor or like the type of humor that people want to like kind of tease you on, that banter humor, right? So
Mhm.
I want that genuine. I want that the same. But there definitely is a side that I want to show, whether it's me being looking more committed to streaming or um, me having more of a serious side shown. Also with like the meme side of me, because that's a big part of who I am. Is I like to have fun and shit like that. So I won't lose that, but me adding a more serious aspect to it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Okay. That's real. Like you just don't want to lose that part of yourself.
Right.
And I guess a more fun question is you talked about banter. Who do you feel like who matches your energy the most that you could really go back and forth with bantering? If you
See,
had
it's a
to choose
tough
one,
question.
because there's so many.
I don't think I could choose one. That's the thing, like, because there's so many different types of banter.
Uh
Um, I think, like, in top of my head right now, I think, um, recently, like Lucas, Soju Poppy, even like, dude, there's like so many people I could list. Like, but like, there's a lot of people I'm really close that are like super nice for banter. Like, for example, like you, like
mhm.
Chris, like those guys are way too like you guys are way too damn sweet, you know, like for the to the banter. You well, see, you've got like more comfortable, like I kind of hate it that like sometimes you like back talk me too, and like you will like take shots at me too. I'm like fuck this guy, but I'm like this guy's getting more clever.
Yeah.
But I think definitely like banter, I banter you really well too, for sure. I think since now you're getting like to a comfort level when it comes to everyone. I've noticed that like your banter level is like increasing. It's very impressive. Like that whole like ordeal when you were drunk and you called me, like that shit was really funny.
Yeah, that was a vibe.
Yeah.
Different breed. So I'm asking this because, or I also want to lead into this. Do you feel like there's someone that you banter with so much to the point where you feel like you don't actually know them because all you do is banter and you don't know them on a personal level?
Ooh, that's a great question. Wow, that's a really good question. I think for the most part, the people that I do banter with, it's like this is the way because everyone draws like a border or some type of like fine line of communication.
True.
I think my type of like line is that like it's really funny when we banter, especially when the people are hearing us. But like when I like sit down with someone and it's just like me and that person, I've always every single person that I've had like this like type of banter with, like no matter how like dumb we roast each other, how much we roast each other, there's always a time where like my walls are down or their walls are down and we just talk. I think that's like my perspective as when boundaries are placed is when we have that like it doesn't even necessarily have to be a deep talk, but you could just kind of tell when that person like their walls are just down, like when they're more vulnerable or when I'm super vulnerable. Because I don't mind showing that side when it comes to these people that I feel like I could be close with and have like that banter with. So it's tough. I don't think I've ever had a person where I've had a lot of banter with, um, or and not know them in that genuine level. Because it definitely is either or, like where I could get really close with someone and get like really intimate with someone really quick, like deep with them, like you, for
Mhm.
example, and then the banter happens, or the banter just shook and starts in the get go, like from meeting that person, like man, fuck you, no, fuck you, right? And then we get close.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think both happens very fairly.
Hmm. And before we transition here, I just want to say hi to everyone. Thank you guys for dropping by the stream. We got a podcast going on. We're about to talk about friendships here. So Kim, Cinda, Lulu, Jory, Saber, Ali, RJ, everyone, thank you guys. Okay,
Dudes.
great transition right here. So, what for you when it comes to friendships, right? What specific traits do you value, or like what are your values when it comes to friendships? And second part of the question is, what does it take for someone to be close to you?
Ooh, okay. So first, go ahead. Can you repeat the first question again? I
Yeah,
just
like
wanna.
what are things that you value in a friendship, or maybe like specific traits from people?
Um, I think just like because I could see when people are trying to, for the most part, I could see. I would say for the most part, I could see when they're trying to be something they're not. So like genuinity, because I have made friends of all backgrounds, all traits, all different type of hobbies. Like that's kind of what I fucking love. Is there. And I mentioned this as like in a romantic way to you and to a lot of people. I do talk about this, where like if we're so different for me, I think that like I find that as an attraction, not in like this level where I want to get at you, because it doesn't even have to be like a girl, a boy, or anything like that. It's just like I want to know you more. So having like whenever they're like passionate with something, or like when they like talk about something and they get like happier, um, that's when I could see that there's like a genuine side of them. Um, because like I just like individuality, and that's like what I really, really fucking respect for someone. Because I know I'm so fucking different than a lot of people. That's what I kind of respect. Like they don't need to do anything to impress a group or impress someone. That's why like differences like I think that's when I get more attracted to someone. Not it's not the because it's easy to talk about like commonalities or hobbies that I'm like have similarities with you. That's because a lot of people might have that same hobby, but that doesn't make you a good person. That doesn't make you like you know. I don't want to see what we could disagree on or will we have something different. I want to know your side of the story. That's what I value.
Hmm. Huge. And I guess more so on the second part, like maybe for Twitch, right? Because we've met
Yeah.
so many people on Twitch. Um, like, how do you think people have gotten close to you, or like, how did you specifically get close to like the certain people that you have in your life right now, like from Twitch? There's different
Mm,
levels. There's different levels of
yeah.
like friendships, especially through like online and Twitch.
Um. But the thing is, like, this is the thing that I kind of dislike, and it's it's when people. Okay, it's not when I dislike, but it's something I definitely disagree on. Because I would treat the people I'm close to in Twitch the same, rather than I meet people like IRL. Like some people that I met with Twitch, and Wilson's a really big example of them. Is that I'm so close with these guys. These are my IRL friends. There's no difference between that for me. Like, uh, there's like to answer your question. I think when it comes to friends in general, when you get that side where your walls are like down, and I get to be able to talk to you, like when I am like I've made these like genuine friendships with a lot of people, Twitch aside, even with Twitch, you get these fucking friendships, and like it doesn't matter how much I care about them, or it doesn't matter how much they care about me, as long as there's caring, because like it's gonna be one sided, like whether way, and I don't really give a fuck. Like if that person means a lot to me, that person's gonna mean a lot to me. Um, that's just kind of how I live, like because there's a lot of people that are that I um either am close to or want to get close with more because of that respect.
Yeah, that's I agree with that. I'll talk more on that as we dive deeper into like friendships, like the topic
Yeah.
itself, because there's so many things I want to personally get through.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the flip side though, like what kind of turns you off when it comes to like these friendships? Like what are your personal icks or things you just don't fuck with?
I don't like. Um, I'm not a big. So I mean, I think I feel like I had this conversation with you where like I'm not a big click person, and
Yeah.
the thing is, like, me and you are similar in that aspect, because I know you don't like having being in a specific circle or a specific clique, but I feel like the reasons why are a little bit different. Like because I've been in these cliques before, like in the past, high school or whatever, um, and like in the end, like I truly they liked having me around because either I was just like this like humor for them, um, not necessarily mocking me, or like obviously sometimes the clown, right? It's not like they didn't give a fuck about me. I knew they cared about me, but there was this like sense of belonging I didn't really feel. Like I realized that in a lot of groups, I'm gonna be the black sheep. There's not gonna be a group where I feel like a true belonging with. Maybe it's on me, maybe it's on them. I don't know. But I've always had that opinion. Um, I'm not a really big clicky person. I don't really um target groups. Um, I'm kind of like individuals. I don't want people to like me because mutual friends don't like me. Like that's a really big ick to me. If you don't like me, then it's all good. Like I get it. But there's a lot of things to not like about me. I understand. Or like get icks from me. I'm loud. I'll say these random ass jokes. Sometimes I'm inappropriate. I'm unprofessional sometimes. I'm fucking late a lot. Like I get it. I get it. You don't have to like me because someone that you're close to likes me. Like I don't like that. Because it just makes it feel awkward. Because like I get the energy. I think that's a big thing for me. Is like you don't have to like me by association, and you don't have to, or you shouldn't dislike me by association. Like maybe if I did a shitty thing, sure you could dislike me.
Mhm.
But if you dislike me because of another opinion of someone, come on now. Or if you like me because someone else likes me, come on now. I want you to like. I want that like authentic feeling, and I think that's a really like that's what bothers me with people sometimes.
So this is like based on personal experiences then,
Yeah,
right?
100%. I
Okay.
mean, it's common, right?
Yeah, I feel the passion in your responses to these.
I was
'Cause
talking about that a little bit later. Yeah,
yeah, because you were talking about clicks at first, and then it kind of they're more developed within
yeah.
as you went on, right? We were talking about like it kind of sounds like some fake stuff, or just not being upfront, and you use the word by association, or yeah. So we could definitely dive into that.
The thing is, like, I'm not even talking about anything like specific. I'm talking
Yeah,
about like generality, and like the shit happens a lot. Like realistically, it is what it is, but it happens a lot.
Yeah, you're just being true to your feelings and your thoughts, and
Right.
I do want to point out that like that's true where there's times where you might not feel like you're in the right place or with the right group, or you just feel kind of like outcasted. You use the word like term black sheep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that to be interesting for sure, because I talked about that in like the previous episode where it felt like I was a drag just to be around at times. Like
Mm,
when I hung out with like old friends, like I'm not gonna say any like names or anything because this was like way
yeah.
back then. It just felt like I didn't really fit in and I was just there, right? So when you come to terms with like who you are and you realize who you're actually with, like you really think about like, do they make you a better person, or do you truly feel happy where you like belong, right, with these people? So it's not like you're ending the friendship or anything, but you just tend to naturally stray away,
I
and
agree. Big
then
facts.
you suddenly come to that realization that like no effort is being put, right, to really keep you there to begin with, and then that just realization is just like huge.
Yeah,
So
it's like that's like the whole like being an adult and making friends, right? It's like no bad blood between you,
yeah,
but the vibes aren't there. Like I wish you the very best. I will still have some care for you, but I just won't I don't want to have that energy with you. And it's like it's all love at the end of the day, but like I want your life to be like without me, and I want my life to be without you, essentially. Um, or not even that deep, but
yeah.
like you just kind of want to stray away from them and have them do your own thing. I get that completely.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even have to be like voiced or anything. It just
No,
naturally happens and it's
right.
okay. Nothing needs to be said, but you'll always be on good terms regardless. You just won't be as close. You guys might not hang out or anything, but that's like a reality check, because there is that saying where as you grow older, your like friend groups get smaller and smaller. I guess it really depends on like how much effort you put and like how outgoing you are, but that's definitely a thing. Okay, so just a little bit about me specifically, right? I'm curious to know, and then you could like talk about other people, right? So when we met, like at what point did you feel like we were like we were able to get closer? And then
Like being you.
yeah. Like me and you. It's like you could talk about how we met, and then at which point did you feel like we became close, right? Because I just want to know like your thoughts about that, and then I know you mentioned like some traits about me that I appreciate, by the way, that you like. But what do you see in like other people that you're really close to nowadays? It doesn't even have to be on Twitch. It could be like whoever you've met like outside.
Like okay. Let's see. Well, this shit is gonna actually get me fucking emotional.
Yeah. I've made him cry. So with such positive vibes, huge
it's
flex.
it's just like talking about people you care about. Me is very endearing.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best to hold it together.
Yeah. If you get too emotional, I could like turn it around
no, it's
and
okay,
like
it's okay.
laugh at you or something.
Okay, so we'll start with Wilson. The moment I realized that the moment I realized that we were in love. I'm just kidding. Uh, so the moment I realized that I was gonna that we were close was, I don't know, like when it was your birthday, and I was like, I got really comfortable on your birthday. I realized that I was like, now that I think about it, like I was like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I didn't know anyone. I didn't even know one, and I was just like popping off in karaoke and being like too extra in karaoke. And then
Oh, the previous birthday.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, your
Yeah.
first birthday, like
That you were at.
yes, that where like I pretty much met everyone, or like people that were local, and
Mhm.
like that's where it started. I just got super comfortable, and I was like fucking just like jamming the mic, and I kind of like hogged the mic at a point, and like you were just like vibing and having a great time. I was like, I like this guy, man. Like you weren't like uncomfortable or anything like that, or you sure didn't show it, so you're good at that. And like I could tell that I like vibe with you super heavily from there, and that's when like I was like, I feel like this guy's a little different than me, but I could trust him. Like that's just how I felt. But the biggest part, because okay, So we were already close at a time too, and
Yeah.
but not on your birthday, but like when I realized that you were like a real fucking one, and I was like, this guy's a keeper. Like this guy, like I fucked up a lot of like past friendships and like close friendships and like best friends or whatever. But when I found out that I was like, dude, I had to like, I can't fuck up with Wilson. Is the moment that we were at countdown on the way home, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into
I do.
details.
I do. I do.
But you know, there was this like the first time I genuinely had these like really raw emotions built up. It was like the rawest. Like I don't even remember saying what I said because that shit was all this. Like that shit, I was like that came from the fucking heart. Like that shit was like when we say fashion, that shit was to the T. And you were just there for me, and that's when I realized that like this guy like I I need to be a better example, and like I need to be a better person, and you were definitely like a big help for that.
Wow. Not gonna lie, I remember that, but I didn't expect you to say that. But I totally understand, right? Like how if it's the thing is like I was thinking of the birthday video too.
Oh
For
well,
that.
yeah, well, for sure, like the birthday video, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
No,
was
that's different. That's totally different, and I agree.
that was the best, and I could say this now. That was the best gift that anyone could ever get me. Like actually, and like that was the best gift I've ever got because it just like I don't care about tangible things like
Mhm.
you know I don't know if it was like the words of affirmation type stuff, but like just having the current friends and some of the past friends just like state how much they care about you and like because there was some of these faces where like I didn't even expect to hear from, even though they said thing like happy birthday, like I love those guys, man, and like
Mhm. Like it was very meaningful for sure. Like everyone's message and stuff. So it's like
yeah,
pretty comparable to like when people make kudo boards for each other for like birthdays and stuff. It just
yeah,
means a
exactly,
lot.
yeah,
Like again, it's not tangible, but it's just like people are really thinking about you when you sometimes you just don't expect it. So it's like there's like some form of clarity there where you just like, damn, I really do have real ones. I find that to be very special.
and like that was like I said, that was the sweetest gift ever. But like I said before, like when I find someone really close with me, it's not all the positives they give me. Because Wilson, I can name a shit ton of things of all the positive things, like,
Mhm.
but like it was, or like a lot of good times that we had together. But that was
For
like a
sure.
really that countdown time was like a really shit like thing that I was going through, and it was like I was like super like it was a really ugly side of me. At the same like realistically, it was a really ugly side of me, and it was a really shitty time for me. And that's why I value that time because it's like it doesn't matter. Like I can have all the happy times, but all like the shit times. That's where I think about like why I should be this close to this person because that was such a shitty time, and you were there for me, and like I don't know, like I can't even.
Yeah, that was an insane time. Like
Yeah,
very
for
unique
sure.
circumstance. So it's like it's not even a story to be told. It's just like it will always be in the back of our minds. Yeah, cemented as something like very special.
Right.
So I do want to just talk about like I asked you about traits and values and stuff, and
Yeah.
I know I think Jory mentioned it earlier, but to me, I value or I feel like to cross that border of becoming like really really close, a lot of it has to do with like open vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what you were getting at, where you showed everything. I know it's very difficult for people to get to that point, and sometimes it's okay. Like you could be close to people, but I feel like the dynamic shifts when you get to that point where you could just be completely vulnerable, and then to realize like you're not being judged, or anything or criticize. It's like an impactful friendship, and those are the type of friendships where you just could call like the other a real one, at least in my book.
I agree. And it's also like for me, I don't know how shallow or like dumb this sounds like. Like this might sound silly, but I'm being like so real. Like it's even like I because this is why longevity matters for me is because it's like how much they could tolerate me as a person. Because I know sometimes I'm a fucking lot. It's like I'm a fucking tornado at times, and um, you know, my emotion level is like higher, I would say, than the norm, like significantly higher. So whatever I do, it's more. Whatever I feel, it's more. And the fact that people can reciprocate it or be there for me, that's how much like appreciation level. Because like you said it before, it's my pettiness level. It's because of that. It's the reason why I'm so competitive. It's the reason why you say it. I'm passionate. Like it's all of this shit combined is because it's just I feel naturally more. So naturally I'm gonna be more quote unquote clingy to my friends or like attached to my friends. Um it's because I naturally compared to the norm I have these emotionally more stronger and it's very appreciative how much I'm appreciative or how much they appreciate me. It's like sometimes I can't even fucking tolerate myself, G. And the fact that like all these people can and are wanting to get close to me or are wanting to be there for me at low times or not so low times. Like that shit is that shit's unconditional. No matter what, like at this point, if you already stated this and you were there for me at a low time, I just don't give a fuck that like you even talk bad about my character. Like you in my heart is unconditional. I'll care about you. I just at this point.
All right. And so speaking of like your how you perceive friendships and stuff, how uh how are you as a friend when it comes to like how does it one stay close to you? I'm gonna leave it at as that as like a more open-ended and general question, and then I'll
Yeah.
get deeper based on what you say.
How do you stay close to me? Mm,
And Mika, thank you for the resub, by the way. I appreciate you. Thank you.
shout out Mika. But see, because I've had friends that I don't talk to as much, and like when we talk again, it's like the same shit, like the same type of banter. And I do have these. I don't know. I think in general, I don't want to say it, but like if you could affirm that you're still real with me and close with me, I guess like words of affirmation is a really big thing for me. Um,
Yeah,
it's like I don't need it, but it's nice to have it, and I do really appreciate it when it's there. Um,
endearing. Yep.
because I compared to my friends, I'm so open of telling them how much I care about them. There's not a single fucking friend in the world that I've like fucking overwhelmed them with my care for them. And I remind them a lot. Like a lot. I don't care. I am so publicly say them I love them or I care about them. You know, obviously I go, you know, like I don't want to give them the wrong like ideas, but like if they're really close to me, they know. Like they're my ones. So how do you stay close to me? I guess the big thing is just like words of affirmation. Like you don't necessarily have to keep tabs on me always, but like it's appreciative for sure. That's one of them.
Mhm.
And I don't know, just like I guess that's a big thing because like no matter where we are in life, if I'm if you're still rooting for me, no matter where we are, then like you will always like be appreciative to me. And
Yeah. So it's like I talked about this too, where even if you go on your separate paths, you're always wishing each other well.
Right. Exactly.
So do you feel like you're the type of person where you could just like go back to where you left things off? That type of thing?
Yeah.
Like maybe if we don't see each other for like 5 years or something. It would still be like
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. 100%. Like we'll be like shit talking each other and like, damn, you look old now or something like that. Like for sure. Like I definitely there's definitely there's definitely some relationships like that. Obviously, when it's developing up, like I would say for mine and yours for sure. Like that's no doubt. But there's these friendships, relationships that within these people that are in the process of being close.
Hmm.
Obviously, separation with it, like naturally, you're gonna get less close with them. So sometimes it is gonna feel like fresh again, or strangers again, but like in a nice aspect. Because being strangers again is not always a terrible thing.
Hmm.
Um, you know, life happens, and you know, I would I would say just keeping tabs would be nice. But yeah, to answer your question, I think that most of my close friends, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So you're big on words of affirmation. So would that like include calling someone a Euro clone?
Um, yeah, I mean, but I said she's my favorite Euro clone. You know what I mean?
Okay. Choice of
I say
words right
favorite
there.
with it. But like someone like Michelle too, like someone that we met fairly recently. Um, she calls me old, so obviously, like I see her as like a younger, like almost like a younger sister for me. So there's, I do state like I care about her, like
Hmm.
for sure. Like I appreciate that we met. Dude, I've said that many times.
Yeah.
Um, because they're, she, yeah, she runs my little sister, so I don't want to say anything else, but
Okay. Okay. So another thing is like for you personally, has it ever gotten to a point where like at once you were very close to someone, but now it's just like way too awkward to like even interact or even like to even keep in touch? Because like like it sounds like you have to get to a level, like a specific level, for you to be able to be like, "What's up?" Like no matter how long it's been. But we're talking about switching friend groups and life goes on type of thing. Like, could have you ever experienced that?
yeah, I mean, yes, I have. I think that only happens when there is like some type of indirect bad blood that happens. For example, if like you realize that we stopped talking and they like shit talk you or bad name you or your group or someone you care about, it's a little awkward.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's the only time where it's like an aspect like that. Um, or like, yeah, or you associate yourself with people that you wouldn't necessarily agree on. Um, yeah, I think things could happen like that for sure.
So, what would you have to say about like experiencing what it's like to fall out of a friendship?
Mm, depends on what aspect. I think because for me, like if I'm really close with someone and I get close with people really quickly,
Hmm.
if I am close with them and there is like a disconnect, we start disconnecting, like it hurts. And like I don't show it, but like because I get a little bit more numb more times it happens. Because I mean, life happens and it happens a lot. Like I definitely do feel like every single time that does happen, there's always like some type of piece of me that is like disconnected. And
Hmm.
like I never want to lose a friend. I never want to get disconnected with a friend by any means. Um, but it happens, and difference of opinion or whatever happens. At the end of the day, it's still all love, but
Hmm. Yeah.
like it's
Um,
yeah,
I get what you're trying to say. It's I know everything's also situational, but at the end of the day, you want what's best for anyone and everyone. Um, but let me dive deeper into this topic.
Okay.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where when like your friends just don't get along and they just stop being friends, like you're forced to like choose sides, or you just feel closer to a specific side? It could even be like friends that were dating.
I think. I mean, I've had people that like dating or not. I've had these friends that disconnected with each other, and then where I'd agree to one side more, but I'd still defend the other side because I still care about them. And this happens a lot. It's like you're in this like middle part where they're expecting you to be fully on their side, and you just can't like forget about the other person or like completely go against that person that you cared about a lot. So for me, it's like I end up losing both of them, and that happens a lot too. When it comes to a couple, it's slightly different depending on who I was closer with. I'm
Mhm.
usually like stay close with that person, even though I would care about that person. Like I would like sometimes from time to time just like hope you're doing well, but at the end of the day, it's like people break up, right? Like that sounds so fucking bad, but um,
Real?
like it's all love, especially when it's like one of my like really close boys, breaks up with a girl that I got really close with too, which happens. Like it's all love and support, no matter what. Or a close girlfriend, like then it's a female like breaks up with a dude that was like really got really cool. So that shit happens too. Like a family member, um, like significant other, like I usually get along with significant others that are close family members, like usually my mom's side, which is all girls. Um, Definitely, that's like the side where I would choose a side, but I was never really in like both sides. But if it's like mutual friends, um, then it's I usually lose them both. To be honest with you, that has happened quite a few times.
Yeah. Just to like talk a little on it, like nothing specific, of course. It's crazy, like how friendships are, even like in the Twitch world, like just being very realistic. I've been on Twitch for a while and I've seen many, many different type of friendships bloom, right? And like grow. And
Yeah,
then eventually shit happens, there's like a disconnect, and then people just don't F with each other anymore and then go on their separate ways. Sometimes people just like leave the community and just stop talking to like all mutuals.
right.
And it's just, yeah, it's real and you can't really do anything about it, but it's just like a part of me will always wish the best for like anyone, right?
Yeah,
If you talk, you do. If you don't, it's fine.
because the
Um,
shitty part of it, like truly shitty part of it, is like real world. Like they're both good people. Like that's
yeah, yeah.
like they're both good people, and you don't want to lose either or. And obviously, stuff happens, but just because they have a different opinion doesn't mean one's better to the other or one's more the better person, right? They're
Mhm.
like at the end of the day, like they're both good people, and you know, like obviously people have their imperfections or their right points, but it sucks, and I can never choose a side. Like that's end of the day, I would not be able to choose a side. Like I can't. I'm sorry, unless that person really fucked up or like that's happened very couple of times where that person really fucked up and like
Mhm.
I you kind of see like their true colors, but in most cases, just like just difference of opinions.
Yeah, and no, that's so true. Cause I don't know if you're confrontational, if your friends like were to fuck up or anything. Like,
Mhm.
and then you see beef. Like sometimes beef gets publicized, right? Twitter, whatever. But when you
Yeah,
realize you're just like, fuck, these two people or all these people on both sides are like such cool people. How is this happening? And then it's just like at one point, like, do you involve yourself or like just sit back? Because I mean, they don't have to be friends or anything, but It's
So I
like,
would.
where do you draw the line for you specifically?
So, well, to answer your question, I will not be. Anything I do is always in the back end. I will never ever publicize a side or even talk about the difference. Fuck that. Especially if I'm close with them. No, no, no. I would talk to them behind closed doors, like individually, whether it's confronting them or not. I would never ever publicize a conflict, especially with two people I care about. No, no, no. I think that's a big no-no in my opinion. Um, Especially if you're kind of like in the loop of both of them, involved with both of them. I think it's more mature to um talk to both of them, and you know, it's tough because if one person's more keen on being right, you don't want to invalidate their feelings. But if it's like continuously talking bad about the other character, um, that's where you kind of have to draw a line, and it's not like it's like I fuck. It's just so tough because I can't ever like talk bad about a character and like have that like be right in any case.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, I don't choose sides. So if the mentality is like it's either if you're not with me, you're against me type of mentality, like I'm sorry. Like I love you and I wish you the best, but I just can't
You
choose a
just don't
side.
roll that way. Yeah. Umami, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope all is
So
well with you, Brody. I appreciate you. Miss you. And Marv, Annie, thank you guys for being here as well. Welcome into the podcast. Yeah, miss you. Do your thing, man. Do what you got to do. Thank you for the shout outs, RJ. Yeah, great points. Great points. We'll continue on with this because, like, yeah, things happen. You fall out of friendships. People come and go. People realistically just don't get along all the time, and you just have to. Sometimes you get caught in that fire, and whether or not you have to choose sides, sometimes things fall down like to a certain point. Just the way it's the way it is, and it's out of your control sometimes.
I agree.
Okay. For you, let me see which one I want to ask first.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Nah, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. Okay, for you personally, do you find it easier to become friends with guys and girls or girls? And to ask a second question, do you feel like you have more close guy friends or girlfriends?
That's a cool. That's a very cool question. I think, um, growing up, I was more inclined to getting closer to the girls, um, because I was definitely more of a sensitive kid back in the days. And I was never athletic, even though I wanted to be athletic. I was never athletic. But now I think it's a cool mix between both. Um, the thing is, like now that I'm more like aware, I don't want to give any of my like female friends like the wrong impression by any means, and like the wrong hints. So I will definitely like talk about my care for them. Still like have love for them for sure and love them, but it's slightly different because I don't want to be like give anyone the wrong idea. But I think it's a good mix between both. Because the boys, you know, they're my boys. Maybe slightly more guy friends, like slightly
Closer guy friends.
slightly more, yeah.
Okay. And like realistically, I know there's boundaries, right? Like you
Yep.
and you would always have your personal wall and guard up, just to keep things like platonic, especially when it's the opposite sex or
Yeah.
whatever. And then I know catching feelings is like really realistic too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so whether if it's personal experience or not, like what's your take on like being able to draw that line? Like how easy do you feel like it is to catch feelings for like someone you're so close to, and maybe like a real example, if there's anyone of like who you find yourself close to that is just strictly platonic?
I think I'm very good on that now. I think it was that harder. Because like, you know, when you're more like, I guess, secure of knowing what you want, in a partner or in general, I think I was definitely more vulnerable of having feelings for close friends that were in the opposite sex for sure, especially when we have these commonalities. I think it was definitely a lot easier. It's like the easier option. Um, but I think when you set those boundaries, like if it's like strictly platonic, then I'm totally okay with that. But like I'm gonna kind of contradict myself. I would say that finding a partner, I do need to be friends with them first. Yeah, so
Valid,
I'm gonna
valid.
contradict myself slightly. But if it's like a super like if the boundaries are set that we're just friends, then that's totally cool. No matter what, you're gonna be my homie. You know what I mean? Like I can't just like straight like sit game to it like a random stranger or like anything like that. Like I gotta have like some type of like connection with them.
Mhm. All right, and for you in particular, nowadays, how have you been like making new friends for the most part?
Mm, like now, I guess still Twitch is a big thing, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
for
there's like a
sure.
lot
I
of
expected that answer. Yeah.
yeah, Twitch, and then um like an old friend group, I would say, where I was really close to at a time, and then shit happened. Um, like I kind of got reacquainted them recently, and then their circle became like different, and like I'm meeting very close friends now. I wouldn't say I'm close to them, but definitely meeting more opportunities with people that way too. It's like um talking to old friends and like seeing who they're close with is a really cool thing.
Yeah, meeting through mutuals then.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna wrap up like the friendship conversation here. Kind of leaning towards the mental aspects of it though. Although you have like a lot of friends and close friends, right? For you personally,
Yeah.
how often do you feel alone?
All the time. I'm gonna be honest, all the time. Um,
How do you overcome it? Like, what's your thought process about all of that?
damn, this is a you play fucking Tiger. You fucking go deeper than fucking deep, bro. I think all the time, realistically. It's I think it's to myself at fault sometimes. Um, where like if personal issues happen, then I kind of want to isolate myself. Because I don't want to see people. I don't want people to see me in like a sad way. It's like how like a golden retriever or like how a dog does it. They don't want to see their loved ones. They don't want to see their loved ones see you like suffer or struggle. Um, so there is definitely some times where you know I isolate myself in purpose because of that reason alone, and it's just like that's why I talked about words of affirmation because since I don't really truly belong in a group and it's all like individually cared about people, I think it's easier, and that's why I value words of affirmation more. Um, is because like sometimes you would have that question to yourself, like, does this person really f with me, or um, is it kind of like a front? And
Mm.
so like I've definitely had my battles with that, but now I think it's more the first reason where I'll kind of isolate myself, um, because of like I don't want to see anyone. Like I don't want to have anyone look at me in some certain way or some certain mood. So yeah, like a lot of times, man. Even though I truly, at the end of the day, know that there is a lot of people that care about me. Um, it's a creeping feeling for sure that I can't get out of.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just have to be by yourself and just to like think and let things like sink in
Yeah,
and then to have that balance. But I do want to say I also agree that it's really nice when people show their ways of just looking out. Like even if you don't necessarily want to speak to them at the given moment when you're feeling down and stuff, it's just like even those random like messages or like check-ins, it matters like so much because it's so easy to feel alone. Like at any given day, because you don't know when it could hit. Maybe in the middle of the night, throughout the day when you're just pondering to
Right.
yourself. It's just
Right.
like,
Right.
damn, why do I feel so alone today? I don't know. It could be like, yeah, there's a lot of mental aspects to deep dive, and I'm just glad that I'm able to hear like your perspective on it.
Um, I definitely think now, um, it's a less feeling for sure. Um, I don't know if it's like alone feeling or it's like something's missing or like an empty feeling. It's definitely an undescribable feeling that lately, and I'm trying to decipher if it's a feeling of being alone or not.
Hmm.
But you know, obviously having friends and like I think my biggest strong point for me is is the people I meet. Like the people I have the opportunity to be close with. My my friends are my strongest point is because I have so much positive people and like positive loved ones that care about me. I think that's a big struggle for me because um that's why I owe it to them
Hmm.
because of that.
Yeah, shout outs to friends, like the real ones out there, honestly. Like, I know a lot of people do say, like, just try to put yourself out there and like talk to people because people will be there for you or can be there for you to like a certain degree. But yeah, other than that, it's just nice to check in on people. You don't know what people are like ever going through. And I think I could say that it's normal to just feel like down sometimes. Just stay true
Yeah,
to yourself. You don't have to like put on a facade or anything.
right. And it's like that thing where like they say like to take care of others, you have to take care of yourself first. So like, last year was a big, huge like opportunity for me to, like try to have the effort to take care of myself and um like self nurture myself. Um so but then like it just falls back at me wanting to prioritize people that I really like I care about like before myself, and I think that's what's like kind of missing now. And I don't know, what side I am in that because I've been in this seesaw of selflessness and selfishness.
Mhm. Yeah, real. Like honestly, real. It's good point. You said you gotta like look out for yourself before you're able to help others. But realistically, people are just very selfless out there, and they'll do like everything that they can to make sure everyone else is okay. But they would neglect themselves without even knowing it. And at some point, like sometimes it could get like too much or be too much. All
Yeah.
right. Do you have any other things you want to mention about like friendships, or are you good to move on? Because there's like a few other things.
No, let's move on.
All right. Um, kind of deep and just like reflective. Like we talked about a lot of things, but for you,
Kind of deep.
yeah, pretty deep. As of now, what are your personal short-term and long-term goals?
Ooh,
Could be
short-term goals.
anything. Yeah.
I would say professionally, like like I said, I work in the sales team, so short-term goals. I think why I like sales is because I could see improvement or I could see like how I'm doing because of sales. I think that's why I really like doing it is because I could see improvement myself. Like
Yeah,
I
metrics.
like seeing something on paper,
Mhm.
like saying actually like I'm doing well or I'm not doing well. Um, so I guess biggest sales thing because like naturally I've had experience for the last like 6 7 years of doing it that like um I am like in like the top conversation of the store or of the place I work at right now. So like I'm trying to like be beyond that and like trying to get a promotion from that point of view.
Career wise.
Career
Okay.
wise, personal wise, short term. Um, there has been a lot of setbacks for me. I think like health wise. I
Yeah.
think this year definitely hit me when it comes to like health wise the most. Just like battling three different conditions and like long term conditions that are not curable. I think just taking care of myself. And I think like self care is hugely important right now, and getting back at like the gym where I want to be, and getting back to the physique that I'm happy to be about.
Hmm.
Like there's been a huge setback for me, and it's frustrating for sure. And like it's like like it's the worst when you just like drown in your fucking pities, like fuck, I can't do this, and like. But at the end of the day, you just kind of suck it up and like because at the end of the day, that's on you. That's your accountability. I can't have my ankle, my sleep, my whatever it is, like be the alter long term issue. Like I can't have that fucking define me. Like I need to get past that. So sure, it's gonna be a little bit of obstacles, sure.
Hmm.
Um, but like I gotta I gotta fucking move on from it. I gotta fucking stop being a baby about it, and just kind of sucker it up, toughen up.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like wisdom, but I relate to it. I like just growing up as I get older, like I've come to realize that shit will always happen and there will always be obstacles. But
Right.
then like for myself, like I've gotten to a point where I just feel like I can't pity myself and feel bad for all these bad things that are like happening to me, whether it's like under my control or not. So it's just like I like your spirit where you just have to, pick it up and just like move forward. I don't know if it's like to look at the bright side of things or just to be able to keep going itself, but I do feel like I've grown to have that mindset.
I think that's like that. Like is me. Like I don't be the best me when like shit's good. I be the best me when shit hits the fan. When I see a silver lining, like I'm that guy that fucking is in the dirt. Like I think that's always been like my life is because like I the fact that there's so many significant things that don't go right per se,
Yeah.
um, you kind of like have to like have a better mindset of it. So if we see the silver lining, like you said, I think that's for sure huge. I think that's where like I would thrive is when like shit hits the fan. And I gotta like a big thing is I need to keep shit consistent. Like don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, for sure, I think um, dealing with obstacles is just a natural part of life.
What's your opinion about the quote? I don't know if it's like verbatim, but it's just like life would be too boring if it were easy.
Well, yeah, I fucking agree. Of course, I'm like a huge chaotic person. Like, you know what I mean?
Huh.
Like, um, so like, I like the chaos. I like the unplanned. I like shit like that because I'm used to it. I'm used to shit hitting the fan. I'm used to that. Like, I think that's what makes life super exciting. And I 100% agree with that.
Mhm. Sick. All right.
Oh,
Let's.
long term goals.
Oh
Sorry.
yes, yes. Your long term because you talked about short term. Well, you talked about career too. That could be short
Yeah.
or long term. What's long
Yeah, that's
term?
true. I guess long term is just like definitely moving out. Because I know that like if I stay in this like house slash livelihood, I'm not gonna be able to. Sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to be in a more comfortable situation. So I need to put myself because I know it's not entirely mentally healthy that and like spot that I'm at right now. Um, but definitely moving out and kind of throw myself out there. I would say, and just like being every aspect of me a better version. So like I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better brother. I want to be a better mentor. I want to be a better student. Like people who look up to me. I want people who like see me as someone that I just want to be a better example of me. I think that's a huge long term for me.
Be a better person overall.
Yeah.
Was that it for long term? Okay.
Yeah, just basically moving out and being growing.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that, moving out too. All right. Switching gears right here. I want to know, as of now, because it could change over time, what's your ideal type when it comes to like for someone in a relationship? I saw your face light up. I'm just like, fuck. I'm just gonna ask anyways. Yeah, what's your type, man? Who you like? What you like? How you like?
You? Okay, anyways.
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was gonna say you can't mention me at all.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Second place standards. Come on.
Second place. We talked about like in the podcast. We talked about I like.
Do you like ABGs?
Chill. What the? Whoa.
Wait. Whoa! You didn't say yes or no.
No, bitch. Oh wait. Oh, okay. Call the host.
You could cuss. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I keep interrupting you. I'm getting too hyped. I'm getting too hyped about this topic.
I'm too hyped about this. Since February 14's out there, shout out to these girls. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I guess my type. I said this before. Like opposites. Attract for me. I'm attracted to for sure. I think I like people who have some type of like hobby / passion. Like I think that's really fucking attractive as a person. Like when I was in high school, I used to be like really attracted to like any type of like music talent they had. So like singing or playing music, things like that. Dancing. Like just have some hobby passion. And just because I know I'm in like a upper level of like energy, I need like someone to like chill me out, sometimes.
I see.
That's why for me, I think opposites attract very. I can't date another Steve. Like I don't know, like there can't be two Steves like dating each other or like someone like me. I'm too chaotic, and I know that for my own good.
Okay, so how about when it comes to like physical traits or appearance?
I think I'm pretty. I've liked a wider range of how people looked, because I think like whatever they are makes their physical attributes a lot more attractive or less attractive. But I guess like I don't know, like I don't want to say generic answers, like shorter than me, nice smile.
Okay, shorter than you. Okay.
Nice smile. I said the nice smile. Why'd you actually emphasize that part?
No, because I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah. Like if a girl see like hair doesn't matter because obviously everyone has like long, but if a girl could like pull out short hair, like I think that's really attractive. Let's see how. Yeah. I mean, like majority of the girls I liked were Asian, but I definitely like liked other races too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like a specific like all the girls I've had feelings for are like look kind of different.
Okay.
I guess like short Asian girl, like for the most part, but that's very much it.
Okay. How about when it comes to like the age range? Like how young and old would you date?
How old or young? So I am 28 right now, so I would say anywhere around the age of 23 to 27. Someone that's 23 to 28, I would say. Maybe a little bit. I don't. Someone older than me, sure. Like 23 to 30. I think
It's tough as you get older. Like it changes. Like honestly.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like just a general range right there. Okay.
Yeah, very general.
Yeah. Okay, talked about the appearance, personality. Do you have like any like turn-offs or red flags for you? Things that you just don't, or people that you won't pursue because of certain traits?
I mean, there's definitely icks.
Personal icks, then, more so than general.
I'm pretty like. Let me see. I don't think there's any like red flags where I'm like, there's a reason why. Like it used to be like smoking, but like that I'm like more tolerable if. Because like I'm talking like cigarettes, like weed, like there's like health benefits and stuff like that. I understand. So it's definitely different when you're older, like you said. I don't know if they play Valorant.
Wait, that's a red flag if they play Valorant.
I'm just kidding. Jokes. But I don't know. I don't really have like these oh, like I can't date this girl because of this and stuff for me.
Okay, so how do you personally show that you're interested in someone?
Let's see. I think when a girl banters, because banter's a really big thing for me. I'll like always have this face where like they say some shit, and then like I always just smile at them and I can't say anything. That's like a big hit. I'm like fucking, you know. Let's see. What other ways I could give it off? Where like I'll banter and then like immediately be nice to that person, like immediately after, because I would feel bad or something. Yeah, and that's also a thing. I don't know. I feel like some people would disagree with me, but some people would agree with me. Like I'm pretty good at hiding it. Sometimes. Why are you smiling?
This is such a fun topic to talk about to nitpick your brain. I love it. I could ask so much, but I'm limiting myself. All right, I'll behave.
Ask, you motherfucker.
All right, rate your Riz 1 through 10. Riz game.
I actually have 0. Like actually.
Come on, I was gonna say 1 through 10 at least.
Okay, what?
Why do you say you have no Riz?
Because like I said, like I can't hit on girls properly, or like I can't hit on people properly. Like dude, like my Riz on the boys, like fucking 12 out of 10 for sure. But the thing is, like, I can build rapport with people, and that itself, like, I could catch feelings, or they could catch feelings for me in a more simpler way.
Yeah.
But like in like a bar aspect or like a first impression aspect, most of the time, I would say, I could be attractive after we get to know each other.
Okay. So I heard of this story of one time you were at a bar, and I don't know how much I should say.
Okay.
But I heard that you riz someone up that was a lot older.
I didn't even riz anyone up. Okay. It was like literally, it was because I was the only one acting dumb and dancing, and she wanted to dance along. That's literally what happened.
So, with that being said, could you say your riz
yes.
is a 1 out of 10?
Yes, you motherfucker.
Okay. All right.
Chill.
Might have to retire the Rizshi nickname. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Understandable. So, like, I'm curious, so I'm asking you this. You see a girl, like, you see an attractive girl at, let's say, a club.
Okay.
What do? Do you approach her?
I'd be like this. I'd be with my hair. Hey, how you doing? Okay.
Hey, if it works for you, it works. But, like,
see, I have no risk. No, I don't really do anything. Honestly, I kind of just vibe. Like, realistically, I just kind of vibe.
so you don't do anything at all. Like, you vibe, but you like vibe in place, or like do you at least go up close to them?
No, bro. I'm mostly with the boys. You know, I'm with the homies. You know, that's where I vibe with.
Ah, so you need a wingman.
No, I don't need a fucking wingman, bro. I don't. Like, that's not my goal in these events, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, relax. Don't
Like, it might be a short-term goal when you ask or interview someone there if they're the club, but gee, I'm chilling.
relax. This is situational, all right? Okay, so can you rate my wingmanning skills from 1 through 10?
0. 100%. I know you said 1 to 10, but 0. I don't care.
That's a little. You don't have to lie in the podcast. Come on now,
bro. It's 0.
Do you, not even
Okay,
A for effort. Not even A
I
for
don't even know if I
effort.
should talk about it. There's only one like wingman attempt you did, and I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, I didn't bring it up, so I wasn't even
It's
gonna
a
talk
little-
about that.
You know what I'm talking about? The little shift around.
Yeah, I've done that twice.
But you did it twice?
I've done it. Well, not to you, to someone else, and
Okay.
let's just say that the success rate ain't 0. Okay. Anyways,
oh,
Saber,
fuck.
it's not a 0. Come on now.
Michelle, no one. All right. Anyways,
Yeah. Okay. Back on topic. My bad.
that's all good, G. I forgive you.
So, have you ever had to let someone down? Like someone confessed to you and you let them down? Oh, I can't hear myself now.
Oh,
Oh, wait, now
so
we're good.
sorry.
We're good. Okay.
I'm lower down a little bit. Okay. Have I turned like feelings wise?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And how'd you do it? Like, what's the way to do it to like not make things awkward?
Well, she was like, it was like a couple years ago. It was someone like it was like a really close friend, like almost like we're essentially like best friends because we were like talk to each other a lot, and like that person also was in a relationship with someone that like I was like really cool with, and she like admitted, and it wasn't she didn't like break up for me. I don't know, fuck no, but she like confessed, and I turned out I was like I don't want to go down that path with you because I value so much of you as a friend. I think that's literally what I said. It's like because we were so close that I didn't want to ruin anything. I mean, it's like typical stereotypical shit that like girls would say a close guy friend, right? I think that's some like some stereotypical shit. But like it was like being like genuine, like it was like honest. Like I didn't want to because she wasn't ugly by any means, or I wasn't unattracted to her, but I just didn't want to go on that level because I valued her as a friend more than anything.
Yeah. Was it that just that one time or what?
That's a one time that like it was like a genuinely confessed feelings from me. I mean, like approach is different, like on the bar or a club. Like that's a little different. I have done that, but I don't want like that's just like whatever. Like you know, you could kind of be heartless because you like they don't really care about you or like whatever. But yeah.
Okay. How about this? On the flip side, would you rather like say you're interested in someone, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather have them?
Ask. Oh fuck.
What? No, I don't think you do.
I think I do, but go ahead.
No. Would you rather have them like just reject you, and if you choose that, like, how would you want them to reject you, or ghost you?
Ooh, ew! I don't like that question more. Ew. Okay, so wait. So what? Okay, so it's either reject me or ghost me.
Yeah, and if you say reject, then how would you want them to reject you?
I feel like what typically happens for like especially when it comes to guys, like guys' egos when they get turned down, they will do the ghosting, like because they're like their ego's so hurt that they got turned down that they like don't want to make it awkward, so that's why they wouldn't talk to that person anymore.
That's
But
real.
um, do I want to be ghosted? Okay, I definitely have been ghosted in the past, and like I didn't even like directly. It was a kind of a mess. It was fucking high school. Like we're all little shitters, but it's some dude that I thought was a friend, fake friend, like confessed for me and like told the girl, and like she ghosted me after that. I was like kind of confused because I didn't really know what ghosting means because I was like kind of new into social media. I would say a little bit. So I was like, why isn't this girl messaging me back? She might be busy. But yeah, would I want to be ghosted or turn out? I definitely think, like, ego aside,
Yeah.
you definitely want to be turned down. Um, like, you definitely want to be rejected, and like, were we close to me and this girl or what?
Let's say you guys weren't close. Like you
We're
guys
not
just met.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, like I just met her at a club, and like we were talking a little bit after.
Yeah, we could talk about that as an example.
Like she said some type of shit like, oh, I'm not looking into a relationship type stuff right now, or type beat or what?
Dude, however you want to be rejected if you choose that.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I mean that shit is painless.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you don't really know that person, and you go, oh, never looking in a relationship. Oh, whatever, you're lost. That's how I think. That's how I think. That's how I think.
So
That's
it's
my
like
petty
it's
side.
a respect thing. At least they are upfront.
That's my petty side. But you know, like it protects you more when you're petty like that. You're
Okay.
lost, not mine.
On to the next. Okay. All right, cool. I think we're good on that, like quick relationship talks and interests and stuff. But you better tell me if you're ever interested in someone. Just gotta slide that in there.
Okay.
Anyways, ending things off on a lighter note.
Okay.
I know you're such a noob and you're like a baby raver, right? But I still want to talk about it. Just a little bit about it. Can you talk about your first experience and what your true thoughts are about like the rave scene and just like being with everyone?
I think I forgot what who mentioned it about me, but it's like I'm still raving because of the people rather than because the DJ or the music themselves. I mean, like I can mess with the music. Don't get me wrong. Like get all sad shit. Like I'm sorry, don't leave me type shit. But like, on the real, like it's for the vibes and it's for the people. Like I'm still, like like that's cool. Like, like it's cool. Like it's entertaining. It's fun. But I'm definitely there more for the people or the vibes.
Okay. So what do you say you actually like about it or dislike about it? Like the atmosphere, it could be anything.
I don't know. Like I'm pretty, like I said, like in a lot of events, I could go to any like type of event and be entertained, and like vast majority of things. And I always look at the pauses. I don't know if there's like I guess like some like really like generic like yeah sometimes it gets too crowded like people get too aggressive type shit. But
Yeah.
it's like you kind of expect that when it comes to like clubs or raves. So I don't really mind it as much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like have like when it comes to any type of events, I don't really look at the cons that much.
That's good.
I think that's why I'm enjoying like what it is for what it is. Um, yeah, like I okay, so I explained this to my friend.
Mhm.
I never said this to you. I look at going to like a rave as like a gotcha game. Like playing like fucking Honkai or some shit, right? It's because like there'll be like a shit ton of like songs or like F tier people that you're gonna pull or hear, right? Like these fucking F tiers, like okay, I'm just gonna yeah, okay, I got it. But then when you finally find the song that you fucking know, you're like popping off. You got the S tier, you know what I mean? Like you got that like the fucking love is gone type shit. You got the potions, you know, like I pop off on those. I'm like, yeah, okay. And the vibe, and then like, I'm sorry, don't leave me, and then you vibe more, right? I think that's the fun aspect of it because there's a lot of music I don't know. I think it's even better when you hear the song that you do know.
Okay, no, I get it. It's definitely because you don't really listen and you don't really do the research to know what to expect. So it's
I mean, I
fun
tell
for
you like
you.
last second, like you
Yeah,
know,
and it's
but
okay
yeah,
for you. Like you enjoy
yeah,
it. Um
yeah, 100%.
what are your thoughts about like going when you're sober versus like when you're drinking?
It's like the same shit. Like, well, okay, so I mean, like, if people don't know, like, I get really sleepy when I'm drunk. So I don't, like, sometimes when I'm feeling it, Mr. Crab is a little bit too much, then I get too sleepy and I knock out a little bit. That's
Mhm.
not so fun. So I get, like, buzzed or a little bit. I'm not a heavy drinker, but when I get buzzed, I think that's when it's at its funnest because I'm, like, vibing mostly. But when I'm sober, I mean, sober is cool, but definitely like I want to feel a little bit of like the alcohol. Definitely.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite memory in particular?
Like in any rave.
Yeah, any event.
Mm. Countdown when it was raining and it was vibing with Slander. That shit was kind of like lit. I don't know why, but it was because it was like with you guys. Also, I don't know why I had so much fun in Kaiwachi. With like smokes and soju. I think that shit was hell of like I don't know why, but that's like such a memorable event for me. I had a lot of fun. And I like
Oh, at Folsom when we were super sardined.
yeah. That's like rave specifically. I mean,
Yeah.
when I go out a lot, it's always really a good time. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm tripping. Bill Graham Davin was really, really fucking fun too.
Mhm.
That was really
Nice,
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
So how does it compare to like clubs that you usually go to, or like you talk about Heat a lot because of certain people?
Yeah. I think Heat's really fun because it's more my music I would usually listen to. So like I'm a big R&B hip hop guy. I'm big on it. So they will play that type of like 2010 top like R&B music. Like that's like shit in my like Spotify playlist and shit like that. So of course I'm gonna naturally vibe more with that. It's more so the music than anything. Um, yeah, I fuck with it a lot. And like usually, I was more introduced earlier when I was um, like in 21s, um, like the club scene. So I'm like used to like I mean I'm from the Bay, so like a lot of the ratchet shit like I mess with and like hip hop are like stuff I'm gonna be more acquainted and used to.
Mhm.
But like because it's like it was interesting at first when like listening to the Fusey things and like being emotional and shit like a public event, like what the fuck? Because you kind of want to get turned, you know, like yeah. But it's cool. I think they're both fun in their respective aspects, but just because clubbing has more my type of music, I would probably prefer it more.
Okay. All right, last few right here. So considering that you've been to a few raves,
Mhm.
festivals and stuff, right? What
Yep.
tips would you give for beginners if you had to give any sort of advice or tips? Those who are going for
Mm,
their first time.
um, for like a rave specifically or like rave club.
Yeah, like a rave specifically. It could be both. Like if there's a
Mm,
difference for you.
I think it's worth it for the like you have to go with the right people. And it's not like it's not worth fits for the most part when it comes to a rave to try to like get someone try to get a rave bait. In my opinion, honest opinion, I don't think honestly it's worth it. And just be really respectful for the people around you. Just because you're starting out, like 90% of the times, even if they're on something or they're on or they're sober, like everyone's really, really nice there. So just be respectful of their vibes, and you should have a good time.
Valid. And that's a good point that you mentioned, because we talked about it before, where it's just like everyone has their own reasons to go to events and stuff, so it shouldn't be to like specifically find
a partner or girlfriend or a partner, potential like life partner or shit like that. You're not gonna find something like that, or for the most part.
like you joke about it a lot.
Shout out to the married rave couples, you know what I mean?
All right, so I was supposed to save that question for like this part of the segment where I asked you about like your riz and like,
oh god,
yeah, like how you would approach someone, but like not you specifically, but if you were to, because I know you might be shy and stuff, what would the appropriate move be? Like, what advice could you give to like the boys?
At a rave?
Yeah, who are trying to pull someone. Like, what knowledge do you have to be able to like speak on? I'm curious.
That's such a bad question for me. I'm like shooting myself in the foot.
But yeah, I want to pick your brain on that. So,
I don't know. People just usually ask if you want to be rave base. What's up, girl? You know, love shouldn't be gone if you're with me.
I didn't realize you were gonna do that, but okay. How about an actual? What's the real answer, bro? Come on now.
I don't know the answer. That's my real answer.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna leave it at that. That was wild. Holy
Please
shit.
don't clip that. I don't want to see that again.
That's gonna be the clip.
I don't ever want to hear that or see that again.
That is gonna be the clip to see, especially because like I'm gonna have like one clip for each podcast. That's gonna be the one.
Why?
You'll see
I said so much like shit that meant something and like deep shit, and then this gets fucking.
Oh, that's too good. That's too good. All right. Just to wrap things up, you have any like final thoughts about like everything we talked on today, and maybe a message to those who are watching?
Like on more of like a serious note, like a message to others.
Yeah.
Like it's like whatever like issues with someone you have, because we talked about this, like at the end of the day, like is it really that deep to like be like beefing or even publicize it? I would say like for the most part, like at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all fuck up and we all say dumb shit. Like at the end of the, like the person's usually more important than the situation itself, I would say 9 out of 10 times. So and you know, I guess nowadays forgiveness is less looked upon, but like it's nothing bad about forgiving someone. You know, you at the end of the day, you're the bigger person.
That's a nice message. Okay. And then to the audience members.
What? Oh, did you say like a closing message or?
Yeah, closing message. We basically wrap things up. We're wrapping things up at this point because
To the audience members, don't clip what I said about slander. I don't know what the fuck I said. I love y'all. Be safe out there, Wilson Chang gang.
Okay, well, man, I really appreciate your time. Thank you seriously so much for chatting with me. It's been like a little over 2 hours. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah. It was like a good balance of like, you know, entertaining and just like keeping it real into perspective of things. So
wait, can I ask you something? Can the interviewee ask the interviewer something?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So what do you look for a partner? It's Valentine's coming up.
Do you want me to give you your answer?
What do you mean my answer? I'm gonna give you your own answer.
Oh, like you're asking like for real.
Yeah, for real, for real. FR.
What do I look for? Someone who dresses up like a red flag and goes above and beyond to dress up as one for a Halloween party.
Fuck you. That's not the right answer. I'll riz. 1 out of 10.
Yeah, let's save this for like another podcast. That's a great question, buddy. I might have to think about that.
Just you are ducking more than a fucking goose, bro.
Give me a few years to get back to you on that. I feel like you're asking such deep questions that I can't even respond to, you know? I feel like I have to grow a lot more in life. But anyways, on the real, I appreciate you. Thank you, my guy. You have been an amazing guest, and I expected it to be fun, so I can't wait to clip it though. That part that you mentioned. That was so good. That like I was shook. I was shook. I thought you were gonna give like a real answer, but damn. What an entertainer.
Oh my lord.
All right. But that's a wrap for this episode of the Chat with Wilson podcast. I'm your host, Wilson. Our special guest today is Steve, aka Krushee. He's on Twitch. !guest is the command, guys. Twitch.tv/Krushee. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. You'll see this on YouTube within the next few days. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. There will be more episodes in the future.
Smash that sub button, baby.
Exactly. And turn on the post notifications, if anything. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, until then, peace out.